It's Sunday morning in Byron Bay and we're on Main Beach, and this is the gathering of people that have come to protest fracking, which is coal seam gas mining happening in the northern rivers. And thousands of people have already turned out, and there are more still coming. Heading down the beach. It was a bit of a worry earlier this morning not seeing much in the way of cars, but it seems lots of people have decided to just walk on down. So the beach is starting to fill with a plan to make a human sign that says no fracking in our space. This is one of those issues that will draw people together and is drawing people together.
We belong to the country.
Yes,
we're not to own anything.
Government and coal mining companies and coal seam gas mining companies, watch out, because you haven't seen the people yet. They're on their way.
No, definitely no. There's no way. Nobody deserves this done to them. The land and no person.
We need a few more people further down, but really, just jump in a ladder.
This way. Thank you. That way we need space, but jump in if you want.
Please pick up the pace.
It's now closer to 11 o'clock, and
All you spectators, come on,
although
jump in.
timing's not quite exactly right and the helicopters have been, there are probably the same number of people still coming to form up this human sign that we're here at 10 o'clock. So as time goes on, more and more people are arriving, and we really are up to several thousand people of all sorts coming down onto the beach at Byron Bay to protest this fracking. This is one of those movements that is going to make a difference. The people will not stand their land being changed the way this is likely to do.
Fracking will destroy all of the heritage, the history, the fossils, the whole thing. Particularly here, this is a caldera. A lot of people aren't aware of that. Volcano.
I know that it's coal seam gas mining, and it's basically poisoning our water supply.
Where did you get that information?
All over the place. Like, it's pretty much widespread stream media at the present time, and it's something that it's growing and people are becoming aware. And the good thing about that is, which I'm really stoked about, is those people vote.
And so why is it that we're actually doing this before we get a chance to vote on an issue that's going to affect every one of us?
Once we basically poison the water supply, end of story. And that is actually in process now.
So in other words, we're in a space here where there are already about 3,000 of these gas mines working in the country.
Correct, yeah.
And it's just opening up further and further.
Further and further, yeah.
Have you seen the movie Gasland?
Sure have, yeah. Brilliant movie. I think everybody should watch that.
Yeah, so you think that's what's likely to happen here? Is that what we're expecting?
I think that growing numbers, and people will see this sort of a demonstration and realise that people need to get on board.
We've seen both farmers and deep greens, you know, coming down out of the hills, and farmers from their land standing side by side on this issue. Is this a changing issue for Australia? Is this one of those issues that will make a difference to Australia?
Most definitely, and that's something I really like about it. Like the members of the community, we've got children as well as, you know, our elders basically, that are all being proactive and making a stand, and that's something to be really proud of.
Why are you here?
Send a big message.
And what's that message?
No fracking way.
And why not?
We want to live, and we want our children to live.
So you think that this is actually something that's going to threaten people's lives?
Definitely.
How will it do that?
Watch Gasland and find out.
It's our land, and for something as short term as gas, which actually costs the earth more than they say it's going to help, it's ridiculous. Cancer, health problems, eyesores, it's just disgusting. But like Claire said, watch Gasland.
Well, we want them to frack off, basically.
Why is that?
Because they don't know what the long-term effects of this mining is going to do, and we just want some experimentation first rather than just use us as guinea pigs.
Have you had a look at Gasland at all?
Yes, and look, Australia is not just a mine, it's a lot of other things. We're not just a mining country, we're not just a hole in the ground. Let's stop being a hole in the ground.
I don't think it's necessary for our community, and I think it's going to pollute Australia, and it's really silly for a short-term sort of solution to some sort of energy renewal that we need.
Which letter were you in, guys?
We were the O's.
You were both in the O's. Okay, very rounded and circular. Can you tell me, why is this an important enough issue for you to get out on a Sunday morning on the beach, on Main Beach?
Because they're going to be digging up gas and letting it spread under the most prime agricultural organic food producing area in the whole country, which is very rare in Australia. We don't have a lot of areas like that, let alone that Australia depends so much on groundwater, and this will totally pollute and destroy the viability of the groundwater system. On top of all those things, just the fact that somebody can come on to freehold my property and barge in and start digging holes in it, it's just
Can I tell you
outrageous.
my version of this issue?
Yeah.
This is we need a paradigm shift in the way we treat the getting of resources. Yes, we all need fuel, we all need energy, we all need these things that we cherish. But the manner in which this is being done is such an old world paradigm. It's literally shaft the earth. We're pushing down this toxic poison into our mother and poisoning the water that's the blood of the earth that we all nourish from. This whole methodology is dinosaur in thinking, and it's giving us a short-term gain for a huge long-term pain. We've got to shift the way we do that. There's tons of alternatives now. The money and energy and thought can be put into getting this same resource at 10 different ways in a healing way for the earth. And that's the biggest problem I fear here. This is old world thinking where a few people are going to make an awful lot of money. Yes, necessary stuff's going to be delivered to the earth, but in the long term we are destroying the land we live on. We're destroying the future of generations on this planet.
So please everyone put your hands together and welcome the President of Lock the Gate, Drew Hutton.
Hi everyone. The Lock the Gate concept was born in my little office out in a place called Warra on the Darling Downs in about September last year. And we decided to have a campaign called Lock the Gate out of pure desperation, because in Queensland the state government had given approval to 3 out of the 4 big $66 billion coal seam gas projects. And so, with the state and federal government having given their approvals, we decided we would withdraw their social licence, and we would say we will refuse to cooperate with this process. So we locked the gate. So farmers right across the Darling Downs decided that rather than respond to a letter they get in the mail or a visit from a coal seam gas company, they would just simply say, we refuse to negotiate. And that means that they have another 20 days for negotiation. 20 days after that, the company can take them to a compulsory mediation. And then after that, they can take them straight to the land court. And the minute it goes to the land court, they can legally enter their property. Now, what we found is that if a farmer puts one of those signs on his front gate, you know what the coal seam gas companies do? They keep going. They go right past. Because the last thing they want to do is take on farmers. Because you know what's going to happen? The first time a coal seam gas company calls in the police to go across the boundary of a farmer who's standing at that boundary with his wife and his kids and his mother-in-law and his dogs, and they go onto that property, possibly arresting them, or the farmer as they do, to trash that man's property, that's the time we've won. The people of Australia won't tolerate that. I'm absolutely convinced of it. This is going to be the biggest non-cooperation campaign since Gandhi organised one back in 1920. You know what the whole thing basically comes back to? It comes back to the question, do you love this country? Do you see yourself as a custodian of the country the same way that Harry Baird does?
Frack off.
Don't mine.
No mining, huh?
No mining.